Hello, my fellow Americans. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. Did you watch the debate the other night? What debate? It really wasn't a debate. It was more of a Q&A. And obviously the Republican National Committee, or conspiracy, was after Donald Trump by asking all the candidates the question, is there any of you who won't say that if they don't get picked that they won't start a third-party campaign? And of course, Trump raised his hand and says, no, I won't take that pledge. So they had it, they were gunning for him. But Donald, he was ready. I guess he thinks he won the debate, but once again, there really wasn't a debate. At least I didn't see it. About the only time there was any debate, I think it was Christie and Rand Paul. I think that was the only time when two of them were really going at each other. The rest of them were pretty much just issuing sound bites to the questions. And a lot of them kept repeating themselves, trying to say, well, I did this and I did that. But as far as I'm concerned, re-elect no one. So if they've already been elected, that disqualifies them. Only leaves, I think, 2, maybe 3 people. And, you know, from the big kids table or the grown-ups table, we got Dr. Ben Carson and Donald Trump. And I guess from the kids table, we have Carly. I didn't get to see Carly, but I guess she just really took on everybody and, you know, just decimated them. So hopefully she'll be at the grown-up table for the next debate. And everybody keeps thinking that the Donald's going to implode. But the more he sticks to his guns, the more popular he gets. And I read an article today written by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of, you know, Milwaukee Buck and Laker fame. And he said it was about Black Lives Matter. And he says that because of Donald's kind of, you know, stealing the show with his shenanigans, that, you know, this issue, this racial issue is getting pushed to the side. And that the candidates are taking the chicken way out by saying all lives matter. Because I guess the Black Lives Matter has been distorted. Its meaning, its original meaning, has now been distorted into something else. Where the original meaning is that Black Lives Matter just as much as any other life. Whereas the media and some of the people are putting a spin on it, saying that they're trying to say that Black Lives Matter more. And that's not the case at all. And so by saying all lives matter, they're missing the point. Because the point is that, as Kareem is making, is that you want to make sure that it's equal treatment and not unfair treatment. And that's the difference. And people realize that there's still problems along the racial lines in this country. And it's one of those conversations that makes a lot of people uncomfortable to talk about. Because it's just so easy. You can dismiss it one way or the other. You can say, well, you're playing the race card. Oh, you're a racist. So by doing those things, by labeling it, it just takes out any rational, logical, reasonable discussion, and then just, you know, takes it to the level of name calling, which is, you know, that's just a bunch of crock, or just a crock of you know what. Just a bunch of baloney. But that's what happens in politics on all levels, local, you know, state, federal. And the media is part of the problem, because rather than getting into the facts, they get into the personalities. Once again, attack the messenger, kill the messenger, and then people won't listen to the message, or they'll distort the message. And when they distort the message, then the original sender has to say, no, that's not what I said. You know, this is what I said. And once again, it just adds more distortion and distraction. You know, once again, Here's something going over here. Meanwhile, they're fleecing us. And some of these candidates, they have these ideas that to me are just, they just miss the point. They just don't seem to get it. Like Ben Carson, I think he'd probably make a really good president, but some of his ideas about 10% tax across the board, doesn't matter if you make 1,000 or 100,000 or 100 million. No, if you make 100 million, and you've got to give 10 million to the government, that's just crazy. If they're going to take away 10 million, then I think what he ought to do is then they should give 10,000, give another 10,000 to that person who only makes 10,000. That would be a lot more benefit than giving it to the government. And this whole idea about messing with Social Security, we need to get the government out of Social Security. Or what we need to do is that for the money that comes out of your check, instead of it going to the government, would go to some fund that the government doesn't touch. And so then when it's retirement age, your money is there, and then you can draw on it. But they've screwed it up to such a point where your money's gone, it's missing. Which kind of brings me back to, what about the gold in Fort Knox? Why won't they show it to us? Because it's probably missing. Which, once again, I mean, we've seen these numbers come out, non-farm payroll, and all these jobs that supposedly have been created under Obama. Meanwhile, we've got more people on food stamps. We know unemployment has gone up. We've got more people not working. But they changed the way they count unemployment to only count the people who applied for unemployment, where it's just doublespeak a la Orwell's 1984. And this deal with Iran, which is not a deal, it's a concession. In fact, I saw something on Facebook from the Occupy Democrats where they said, all the Republicans do is say, they want to oppose, but they don't propose anything. Well, I mean, if it's a bad idea, it's a bad idea. It doesn't matter. If you have a bad idea, you go, that's a bad idea. You go, well, you don't have an idea. Well, that doesn't mean we should implement and execute a bad idea. I mean, that's just ludicrous. But these are the types of things that are put out in the media because I guess our society has been dumbed down to the level of idiocracy that people just can't see the faulty logic. And I guess that's because we don't teach logic in schools. We don't teach debate. We don't teach critical thinking. And if it's not taught in schools, it's probably not taught in the home. So what are we to do? I guess we need to start having some critical thinking courses. Maybe in some places like or groups like the Boy Scouts or something. I guess maybe they still have debate teams in high schools, but I guess that's only for certain kids, not the cool kids, right? But everybody needs those skills, otherwise you're just going to keep getting bamboozled by politicians and the media. I mean, I guess Carly really nailed Hillary, calling her a liar, and then not just calling her a liar, but, having all these facts, bullet points, here, and the documentation to back it up. And I guess she made mincemeat out of the interviewer. So, but that's the type of person that we need leading the country. Somebody's going to come up with facts and not spin. Tell it like it is. Take no prisoners. And not, kowtow to special interest or foreign interest or big business and lobbyists and super PACs. I mean, you guys know it. It's a mess out there. What are we going to do about it? And like I said, to me, the only solution is to re-elect no one. Just get some new blood in there And this time around, we've got at least 3 candidates on the Republican side that aren't part of the Republican establishment. Those are the people we need. I don't know about the Democrat side. We got Hillary. Well, she needs to be in jail. We've got Bernie Sanders, who's a socialist. We can't have any more of that. And I think they're probably going to bring out old Uncle Joe Biden, who, I mean, he's just, he's like a Dan Quayle. I mean, he's just, it's just ridiculous, the people that we elect to office. So, my fellow Americans, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Wake up and smell the tyranny.